Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am the CFO of Impact Group. I am joined by Mr. Dan Sebastian, General Manager. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Together, we are going to present the financial results related to the first half of the year of 2026. As of June 30th, we had a net asset IFRS of 199 million euro, 3 million euro, revenue 21.8 million euro, gross profit 4.6 million euro. Highest weighting in terms of revenues is represented by construction services, amounting to 15.1 million euro. Then residential segment, we had sales of 4.9 million euro, 0.6 million euro from rentals, and other revenues. As of June 30th, finalized projects or pending projects, we pre-sold and sold approximately 49% at group level. Total value around approximately 59 million euro. In Luxuria, we still have 2 units. Greenfield Băneasa, we already have 35% sold. Our project recently launched in February, Area Verde, already has 35 units sold and pre-sold, 8% of the total units available in phase 1. And Boreal Plus, Constanța, approximately 48% sold and pre-sold. At consolidated level, compared to the same period last year, the turnover had a decrease of 39%. Gross margin decreased from 26 to 21. The gross margin is weighted. It was influenced by the increase of revenues in terms of services that have a lower margin overall. If you analyze individual performance, the margin increased, reaching the level of 42%. Overall, we achieved a net result of 1.1 million euro, and individual figures showed a 3.8 million euro net result. The difference stems from the fact that individually we have group revenues. When we consolidate, however, these dividends that I mentioned at individual levels disappear from the figures overall. Selby, if you would like to add. Yes, what I would like to mention in terms of the development of sales for the residential segment, as you already know, last year we had a pipeline in the first quarter that was quite high in terms of purchase sale commission signed between 2021 and 2024. In 2024, the last Q of the year, we undertook acceptance of 732 apartment units, and Q4 of 2024 and Q1 of 2025, we were supposed to close a pipeline of approximately 200 apartment units. So, in a way, the sales of the first half of the year of last year were positively influenced by this huge pipeline of promissory sale purchase agreements signed in the previous years. Also, I would like to mention that last year, as of August 1st, we eliminated facilities. We had an elimination of fiscal facilities for a VAT for apartments with a value lesser than 120,000 euro. And this actually made clients and investors approach last minute, let's say, an apartment whilst benefiting from this fiscal facility. So in Q2 of last year especially, we saw an increase due to this imminent elimination of this fiscal facility in terms of VAT. So that's why we had a higher number of sold units. These were events that influenced sales overall. In the first half of this year, as you all very well know, on one hand, sales started to show a small recoil in terms of apartments with accessible prices due to the abrupt increase of VAT from 9 to 21%. On the other hand, political uncertainties and economic uncertainties that are still felt today and that are still present in the business environment today can lead to postponement of purchase decisions. This would be at the end of August. The market has already grown accustomed to this, are already moving towards a better trend, a more positive trend in terms of sales, and we aim to recover as much as possible in the last part of this year. In what concerns balance sheet figures, future projects and inventory, we moved from future projects into inventory phase 3 of Verdi. So we started construction, commercial debt, and other receivables have increased due to also the fact that that has increased as well. Right now we are at around 1.8 million for the 35 promissory sale purchase agreements. Indebtedness is low, around 14%. We do not have major increase in terms of debt and other elements, although in euro, apparently the accounting asset has decreased. The difference is insignificant in lei, around 200,000 euro. Of course, this difference stems from exchange differences. If we were to take into account a reassessment of inventory, we believe that this reassessment based on IFRS would lead to 200 million net accounting asset at market
Împrumuturile și obligațiunile nu au evoluat
value.
spectaculos, dar Euriborul
Bonds and
ne-a influențat costul mediu ponderat de finanțare. Practic ne-a crescut.
Loans haven't developed but an influence in terms of average funding cost from 6 to 6.5. Influenced, of course, so our bank interest fixed cost has helped us a lot. So in what concerns sold units, last year in the first half of the year we sold, of which 26 in Greenfield as compared to 103 last year. As my colleague explained, we have promissory agreements from the previous 5, and now we are concluding promissory agreements for phases 1 and 2. In Boreal Constanța, and in Luxuria, 123 units. We are undergoing advanced discussions for the sale of duplexes
Noi sperăm să
And
finalizăm discuțiile în perioada următoare.
we hope to conclude the discussions in the following period. So here I would like to add something, as you probably saw already in the press release, the recent press release. We hired someone on the CEO position, and this is the company that will fully manage the marketing activity in terms of sales at group level. Once Yulia joins our team, we are also going to give out a strong impulse in terms of promotion activity and marketing of units that we are currently developing. We have already organized pitches with several media and digital marketing companies. So in the second part of this year, we are going to fully transform the overall marketing policy and promotion policy of the company, and these results will be visible in the following months.
În ceea ce privește prevânzările, data 30
In what
iunie
concerns
2026,
pre-sales, as of June 30th,
față
2026,
de decembrie, unde
as
aveam
compared to
18
December
clienți,
when
acum
we
avem
had
72
18, we now have 70.
Băneasa.
32 are in Greenfield Băneasa, amounting to 4.5 million euro.
Jumate din acestea sunt aferente
Half of them
5, pe care
are
intenționăm
related to
la
phase
îndeplinirea
5 that we intend to
septembrie, octombrie.
finalize in September, October of
35 avem
this
la
year.
în area Verdi,
35 in Area Verdi with a value of approximately 14 million euro. In Luxuria, we have 2, and in Boreal, 2 promissory sale purchase agreements. I would like to add something here. Area Verde has a huge potential. All of these results, spectacular results in what concerns Area Verde, are achieved without an aggressive marketing. We are going to start in September with a campaign to promote the units in Area Verde. So by the end of the year, we actually estimate to conclude an additional 65 promissory sale purchase agreements so that we can achieve 100 contracts agreements signed by the end of the year in what concerns Area Verde. In what concerns Greenfield, there are changes underway. We started working on access pathways for Greenfield, and I believe the second access pathway for traffic, car traffic, I believe that these endeavors will actually ensure a better appetite in terms of future clients and investors in the Greenfield project, and hopefully we will better liquidate the inventory that we have of available units in Greenfield Băneasa. We envisage in 18 months tops to liquidate the entire inventory of apartments concluded in the project in Greenfield Băneasa.
Regards to the segment reporting, 47% are in the real estate development area, 2% in rendering services, 6% in rentals, Greenfield Plaza, other activities, 5%. With regards to the revenues and the net profit, 22% were from real estate, 59% in construction, rentals 3%, and other activities 6%. We have one of the questions. The percentage of RCTI. We have 18.8 million for RCTI, and we are consolidating 15 million euro, approximately 66%. A bit less. We have 25% with 70% third. We have an ascending trend of the business. It has more requests, more tenders, to have contracts with external beneficiaries from our group. They work for the competitors in our and other special projects, the ones in Brașov, Sinaia, and of course there are others to come.
În ceea ce privește profitul net,
If we look at the net profit, 59%
a provenit din dezvoltare imobiliară,
in real estate, 20% in constructions. The margin is lower, 28 in rentals, and we have a small loss in other activities.
În ceea ce privește
regarding the budget,
o să invit pe colegul meu să vă
I will invite my colleague to explain. Regarding the budget, we will talk about the residential transactions. The marketing and sales team have been reinforced. We have some campaigns, advertising campaigns in the first part of the year. Plus, up to December, we will have the second access road. We believe that we will be able to recover a lot from the gap that we have seen in the first semester. If we open the access road and the metro line, the value of the properties will increase considerably, the new dwellings, but also the existing ones. We estimate that trend, and it will increase the interest of the investors and of the clients that want to buy a unit in our project. We can see the future projects here. Here I can add that this month we finished the fifth phase in Greenfield with 150 units. We will have another 185 in Băneasa. Up to the end of the year, the building permits for 150 units in Greenfield. You can help me with the next slide. In Area Verde, we started the phase of the foundation of the project. We will start the work and we will finish it in 1.5 years. So starting today, when we are talking, to have the overall project in 36 months times. In Constanța, we will start the works of the second phase, and at the end of the year, we will start also the works for Greenfield Copou from Iași. Yes, about Copou in the phase. As conclusions, the main event in the first semester of this year is starting working on Area Verde project. Another important element is finishing and the acceptance of the fifth phase in greenfield. The inventory in greenfield will lay the grounds to optimally fund our projects, other projects, Iași-Copou, and also Boreal-Constanța. And not the least, we started works and we will finish in the next 4 months, we estimate, for the second access road in greenfield that will connect the project to the Bucharest highway. Let's look at some pictures now. Let's see if I can manage. Here you can see the works at the access road. Very soon we will start layering the first asphalt and we'll start the works for crossing the railway. And of course, installing the security elements, railway security elements. The next picture. Here, you can see the public school in greenfield, which is in the convenience of our newest projects. As you can see, the structure of the school and kindergarten has been done. Now we're looking at equipments. Also for the kindergarten, you can see it in the back. We estimate, we don't control this project, but in maximum 2 years, we will have the first pupils in greenfield that will participate in, we will study there. Of course, not the least, talking about the future developments, it's very important to state that we're empowering the marketing IT teams. We're redefining the marketing and sales strategy, and we will present online. And we highlight the premises to increase our market share at local and national level. Let's go to the Q&A. We have several questions. First, how do you see the residential market after this first half and the Q3 from the problems from the National Agency for Cadastral Land Registry? What happened? We thought it would last longer. Now it's operational, the portal for the land registration. And today we signed all trades that were pending during this blockage. So there wasn't a negative impact, but we were worried because we had pending transactions. About the market, it absorbed the VAT shock. Hopefully, the authorities will have a new government and that will ensure predictability. And looking at the good prospects of greenfield, we estimate that the revenues will increase from this project. We estimate that we will start an intensive advertising campaign so that we can see in that project also transactions. We believe we will have satisfying results this
Următoarea
year.
întrebare, cum
The
progresează
next
lucrările la
question.
noul drum de acces și care este
How are the works progressing in the new access road? We talked about this topic. Very soon it will be asphalted. Then the crossing of the railway by the end of December. We hope that it's in operation. Are there measures to reopen the forest road? The forest road has a commercial contract between Romsilva and the Owners Association in Greenfield. As we know, there is a dispute ongoing that the association that want the road to reopen because there are no reasons for this contract to be terminated. But Impact is not a part of this, so we cannot directly state an opinion on this. So, if the sales are so low, do you have a cheap financing? We'll reimburse the bonds and we will finance the project. As you clearly know, Impact has a very good capacity to reimburse loans. Our indebtedness degree in the last 18 months decreased dramatically from 100 million euro at 35 million euro bank loans. So we weren't worried about financing our capacity to reimburse. We're very well capitalized. We will see an uptrend in sales. And so we have a lot of loan files and approvals ongoing. All financing will be obtained when it will be needed.
And regarding the question regarding bonds, we had a due of 6.5 million euro in December. This bond issuance will be fully reimbursed based on sales in a greenfield. And then another due date will be in February, 3 million. And the 3 million amount will not be an issue. In parallel, I would like to state that we started proceedings to carry out a new issuance of bonds. First, in Romania, we want this bond issuance to be guaranteed with mortgage on a land plot, and the guarantee percentage will exceed expectations, and we also expect this issuance to be a success, and we will use the funds thusly gathered for Area Verde. Do you have any idea when you will start construction in Iași? In the cash flow that we recently generated, we estimated September 1st as the start date for proceedings and works. So for September next year. Yes, I believe the works and the building itself will start as estimated. We are currently working on a redevelopment. We are thinking about the land plot, the 5-hectare land plot, to accommodate on 6,000 square meters a supermarket so that we can increase the attractive factor of the project overall, and we are working on a redesign and integration of this future supermarket in the project, and this future supermarket will obviously generate great traffic and great visibility for the overall
La următoarea întrebare am
process.
răspuns.
Next
Strategic,
question we
reprezentați și
answered our
distribuție.
CTI. What percentage works for third parties and
Avem
how much internally? I would also like to add the fact that our CTI works right now on the foundation side for Area Verde and will work in the future for the structure and installations processes in Area Verde as per the contract. We
aproximativ 2 milioane
had a reported result 200 million lei. Can you give us any details regarding the reasons? I believe it relates to the coverage of the accounting laws. In Cluj, we had a litigation there. The litigation was won, and when the litigation was won, we had to cancel the accounting loss, obviously. Another question: are you maintaining your dividend policy for the next year? Yes, this is what we envisaged and we want to maintain it. How are Boreal sales going and how can you incentivize them? Do you intend to carry on the development of the project? As you know, in Constanța, the local market has shown a slight decline overall. We envisage to continue the project, but only if we liquidate the better part of finalized apartments from phase one. Only then. Right now in phase one, we have two significant packages of apartments that are rented out to two multinational companies. We are undergoing processes to move these apartments to investors, and when we can conclude these transactions, we will be able to state if we continue works or not. We can talk about two questions. Where do you estimate money will come from in order to achieve the budget for 2026? So, cash sources stem from liquidation of greenfield apartments in the inventory. As I stated before, we are not worried at all that we will not manage to entertain a high level of sales. Also, we are going to generate revenue, or better said, cash sources from promissory agreements to be signed in the following period in regards to the Area Verde project. Coming back to the previous question related to adjustment of share capital, basically, we had a loss of 6 million covered by the net profit, and that's why we had that adjustment, because we covered the accounting loss, and that's why there was a net impact on share capital. Now, moving back to questions related to share redemptions, up to 10%, but they are redeemed under 0.2%. And are you taking into account a public offering? Right now, we are going to conduct a share redemption only to cover the stock option as per the plan for impact employees. Of course, we are obviously analyzing the two options that you mentioned. I forgot to mention beforehand, we have contracts in place around 55 million euro in 2026. So,
O estimare
in
de
line
SMS-uri pe baza contractului
with the
semnat în
budget and
mediul planului,
estimation
pe total
for
la
the second half of the year,
50 de milioane de euro.
so 50 million euros will come
Mulțumesc.
from these contracts that I mentioned. So these are the questions that we had for today. We answered all of them. Of course, we are still here. If you have other questions, we are here to answer them. Or if you want to approach, if you want us to approach other topics as well. What are sales like for Q3? We can say that in terms of greenfield, we have a trend of 8, 10 new transactions per month. And our target by the end of the year is to stabilize at a volume of 20 transactions per month. I'm talking about greenfield right now. And then what concerns Area Verde, between September and December, we target 35 new agreements, promissory sale purchase agreements. Yes, we want to achieve the figure of 100 by the end of the year, January next year. We have the necessary premises in order to estimate this. So from the marketing department, we had figures that confirmed our assumptions and estimates. What do you believe about Barbu Văcărescu? A lot of new huge projects are being launched there with properties coming on the market in the following period. Do you believe Area Verde will have a satisfactory sale level in taking into account the offer? So right now we have 700 leads. We want to qualify them. There's a significant differentiation between the products that you mentioned and our products. Can you hear us? Oh, something showed up on our screen. It seemed to have been a slight connection issue. So we are not in direct competition with our colleagues from One. As you know, the Area Verde project is a special project. It has a generous land plot, 2.5 hectares of land. It will have 865 apartment units. It will benefit from 5,000 square meters of commercial spaces and areas. Also a spa area, wellness area, over 250 square meters. So kindergarten areas, school areas. Without comparing, we believe that this project is unique as compared to competitors' projects, and we will differentiate ourselves on the market based on finishes, high quality finishes, and equipment and smart home systems that we are going to integrate in this project. This will set us apart. So I do not see issues. I do not foresee issues. There is an abundance, of course, of projects and offers in the Barbu Văcărescu Floreasca area. Of course, this area is now, let's call it, the main point of interest in the market for that level and for investors and clients. There is a big appetite in terms of clients and portfolio investors regarding this area. Is there a market for these apartments? Are there enough buyers on the market? The market is limited still, and for investors, yields at state bonds entail a significant difference, upside in terms of price versus available revenue of final purchasers. So real estate investors are not necessarily calibrated by, or they don't analyze yields overall on the capital market. An investor who participates in a high-end project such as Area Verde has an appreciation in terms of value of the product up to 50% in a couple of years. And on top, we can add a yield stemming from renting out these units or apartments or spaces And on the other hand, these are investors who do not desire volatilities that are specific to financial markets, or maybe they're not. We are targeting investors, classic investors, who want something tangible in their hands, a tangible asset, such as an apartment unit or a commercial space. And majority was purchased by legal entities, and they already had the cash available. So we saw many companies interested. Are you still undergoing measures to include impact in the BET index? Yes, we still want to access the BET index. We have to increase our liquidity. We have to have better and better results, progressively better results, so that we can show that our projects are being finalized and are generating cash flows and yields as requested, of course. Do you have discussions in the pipeline in terms of non-residential unit sales and assets? Residential assets? Yes, we want to liquidate the commercial space and wellness space in Greenfield somewhere next year. We are going to carry out an expansion endeavor of the commercial space and bring forward new renters. When we reported, we were at 97%, now we are at 100%, so that's why we want to expand this area so that our ROI can increase as well. We want to add 500 additional square meters that can be rented and to bring within our team an important retailer that will generate additional ROI and will increase overall value of the asset.
Once again, through the questions, I think we answered all of them. We talked about headline. We're still waiting for your questions. Why should somebody buy Impact? As you know, our share is well undervalued. The market value is below the net accounting asset, and this seems unfair to us, but we will recover with actual measures to deliver results as good as possible and the share price to increase. In other words, if somebody buys today, it will have a very high increase potential when the quote will surpass the nominal value and will continue to increase. The fundamentals, accounting and financial, are very solid. We have resilience and financial endurance. All the projects are ongoing. There are no reasons to not follow our development plans, so there are no actual reasons for the quote to go up. And we have Area Verde, another development project, substantial one. So I noticed there are no new questions. Thank you very much for participating and your involvement and your questions. And we look forward to the next video call for the Q3 results. Have a nice day and goodbye.